Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you're new here, my name is Michelle and I am really excited for today's video because today I'm going to be recreating a purple look that I created the other day and posted to my shorts. If you missed that look, I will insert that now. Here's the eyeshadow palettes that I'll be using today to create my look. Yeah, I got a comment on this short asking if I could please share how I created this look. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, I will say I used several palettes in order to pull various purples together. And if you have these palettes, you can obviously use the exact same shades. But if you don't have these palettes, I'm going to describe the shades, the type of shadows and shades that they are, so that you can look for these same, so that you can look through your existing collection and look for similar colors so that you can shop your own stash to recreate the look, even if you don't have the palettes that I'm going to be using. So, okay, I will say it isn't normally like me to jump around from palette to palette to palette, but because I don't have a monochromatic palette that's all purple in my stash currently, yeah, I was basically trying to work through some of my FOMO on the new Melt Smoke Session 2 palette that released. Did you pick it up? I'm dying to get that palette, but I really want to wait until it goes on sale. I'm trying to be a lot better about not just buying everything that I want right away. I feel like I have a lot of makeup and yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead now and share which palettes it is that I used and the shades from each one of them. So let me go ahead and share that now. Before we get going, that I am going to zoom you in super close when I'm creating the eye look. So you're able to see what it is that I'm doing and you're able to see really well. So I'm going to be starting off with the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette. I'm going to use this shade here, which is a cool toned lilac, kind of like a grungy cool tone lilac, like a grungy undertone, like a deep kind of dark undertone lilac. Also going to be using this slightly more, I would say this one's a cool tone also, but it's a very light lilac. It almost turns a little pink on the eye, or on my eye anyway. But I'm going to be using those two shades from the Trio Chrome and these two shades from the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. This is a very, very deep, dark, cool toned matte purple. Love this purple. It's one of my favorite shades in my collection. And I'm also going to be using just a little bit of this more metallic-y. It doesn't really have much of a shimmer though. So it's more of like, I would say a satin, maybe like a deep, dark satin purple. And those are the two shades that I'll be using from this palette. Also going to be using the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana for one shade specific, two, okay. I'm gonna be dipping into this deep, dark, matte navy shade, this beautiful navy blue shade, and this particular shimmer shade here. It's kind of like a periwinkle lilac. Those are the two shades from that palette. Last but not least, here I've got my Natasha Denona gold shimmers pulled out from the gold palette into this 5-pan palette, which used to be the Ayana palette, but these are the gold shimmers, and I'm going to be using this as a topper. This is what the shade looks like. So if you have any indie shadows or any kind of like sparkly toppers that you want to top the look off with, go ahead and pull that. All right, so I'm gonna get started by priming my eyes, and then I'll zoom you in and we'll start creating this look. I'm just gonna be priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot. I'm gonna be using the shade Painterly today. Okay, my eyes are primed. While that is setting, let me just say, when I started creating that eyeshadow look, my first instinct was to turn on the camera so that I could share the look with you. But then I was like, nobody's really interested. So I decided I would share it as a short, hoping that maybe somebody would ask for the tutorial on it. And I'm so excited because honestly, this was the first short that I've ever posted that somebody has asked for a tutorial on the look, and it just made me so happy. Anyway, I'm gonna start off into this shade here. I'm gonna put these shadows right by my eye because I don't know how far I'm zoomed in or whatever. Like I do that in editing. So hopefully this works for you, but okay. I'm gonna use this shade here. I'm gonna build that up on the inner part of my crease. And that is the cool toned, kind of like grungy undertoned lilac shade. And this one is gonna go here in the front of my crease. And I apologize if you hear my precious little Shih Tzu snoring behind you in the background. He's a regular feature on my videos, or in my videos, should I say. And so I hope you don't mind that. He's sleeping really good. All right. So I'm just gonna build that shade up here in the inner corner. All right. Next, I'm gonna go into the Circo Loco. And I'm gonna dip into this beautiful purple matte here. It's a really cool toned, like deep purple. I'm just going to put that here on the outer part of the crease, going into that cool toned lilac. Oh my God, that's like 2 dips into the palette. Look at how beautiful and solid purple that matte is. I love that purple matte so much. She's a stunning, stunning shadow. Like, oh my God, this palette here is, this Circo Loco palette is top-notch quality color pigmentation. And because of that, because of the quality of the pigmentation and the durability of it, like they last all day, the longevity of the shadows themselves, I totally feel like this palette is worth the high price. Take that with a grain of salt, because honestly, I don't feel like any powder that's colored, I don't feel like any colored powder or even translucent powder is worth that extreme price. I feel like makeup prices have just gotten way out of control. But what I'm saying is I don't regret spending the very, very high price tag for this palette, because every single time I do dip into any of these shades, I get such a punchy payoff, which is what I want from a colorful palette like this. I'm not looking for soft pigment. I want full on opacity. Like this is what I want right here. And Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette delivers that for me every time. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that purple in a moment. But now Now I went into the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana into this deep dark navy shade, and I used this as like a deepening up shade for underneath that same purple out here in the outer edge. So I'm loading up my brush with this blue. Right here is where the look takes a trust the process turn, so don't freak out because it's gonna come together in the end, I promise. I'm about to look a little crazy, okay? So here we go. Tap off real well so you don't end up with blue fallout on your cheeks if you've already done your base like I have. Look at the depth of that beautiful pigment. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take this blue and I'm gonna build this up here on the outer half of my eye, going up into the purple right there. And I'm just gonna take it to the outer corner and leave it right there on the edge like that. Okay, so basically this is what you want it to look like at this point. So now going back into the Circo Loco into the purple matte, and I'm gonna build that up over this blue and cover it up as best I can. Takes a couple of like coats, but it does build up over it. And look at the depth and richness of that color that you get. Oh, I just love Natasha Denona mattes, baby. Love that. Now, this is going on top of a Pat McGrath matte, but I mean a Pat McGrath matte, but it's the Natasha Denona matte that's working itself into the Pat McGrath one. So it's the Natasha Denona one that has to be like the one that's working into the bottom one has to be really good quality to be able to like not get overly blended into that shade and be able to have enough pigment and payoff to cover it up and kind of go back into a a purple look and just leave that blue as the depth underneath. Am I making any sense? I hope I am, but okay, so this is where now I go into another palette. Here we are now with the mattes over the eyes. Okay, this is what it looks like at that point. Okay, so from here, I took some NYX glitter primer and put it in the open space. And I like a real like sharp line at the top. I don't want it to like blend in as if it's just fading off into the crease. I want it to be like a fake cut crease type of thing. And then I just blended it on that blue a little bit. Okay, before that dries, I'm gonna go back into the Pat McGrath palette. Oh, good Lord, open it, Michelle. Into this beautiful lilac shimmer here. And I just, oh, look at that. Okay, it's a beautiful kind of like blue purpley effect, and for whatever reason it's kind of messing up on the outer top edge right here. I think this isn't the best because of the point for dragging it there, so I should have used my Sigma E54. Well, no, because this one came out fine. I don't know what happened there. I just messed it up maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna fix it there. Oh my God, look at how beautiful. Okay, but I'm not done yet. Okay, and then From there, I took this really huge blending brush and just kind of blended that into the crease, which also kind of mixes the two purples of the crease into each other a little bit, softens up that line that we had a minute ago. Now I'm gonna go back into the Trio Chrome palette. Here I'm using this shade here to blend out the top of this dark purple and the edges, just like right there. That's actually not the brush that I used to blend it. Come to think of it, it was this one, and that's why it's not blending very well for me. Yeah, that's what it was. So let me blend it better with the right brush. I love this for the edge blending right here. Yeah, this was the one. Yeah. Much better. Okay. A little bit more of that dark purple into the outer corner. I'm going to take a smaller detailed brush though. Take more of this dark purple. Just right there into that corner. Yeah. Okay. Then final touch. What did I do for the inner eye? Oh yeah, I did. I completely forgot. I also grabbed my I used the matte. I used this cream matte here from the Makeup by Mario. If you want to do a shimmer, you can do that. I just really like how the matte looks. And I just wanted it to not distract from the rest of the eye, but just brighten up, see? And blend beautifully into that matte lilac. Ooh, love that inner corner, look at that. Hint of it there. For the lower lash line, we're gonna go into the Circo Loco, into this like metallic shimmery type of purple. Satin, it's a satin, I think, like a satin metallic type of effect. Okay, and then to blend that one out, back into the Circo Loco, back into that super light shade here, and I'm just going to use that to blend out the lower lash line a little bit. Okay, now I went into this particular like green gold shift from the gold palette. It's got kind of like a bit of a pinky to gold shift. It's this one here. Do you see that? And so I just took a little bit of this. Here's what it looks like on the finger, and just right there over the middle of the line. Not too much so you don't lose the like lilac itself, but enough to just add some fun sparkly dimension right there, if you can see. And there's the difference in the two eyes with and without that. Honestly, I like it both ways. I think it's perfectly fine, but this is just that little bit of shift that I was in the mood for. So just stunning to add that little bit of like gold topper, which is pretty unusual for me to do. I don't normally reach into a shifty shade like this. Even when I've used the gold palette, I haven't really used those shimmers. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get more use from them. And so I thought I'd pull it into a random look like this. And here is the finished look. But this is what the eyes look like. Then I topped the look off with my Bobbi Brown Gel Pot Liner and my Essence Lash Princess Mascara. So let me go ahead and add those finishing touches. Also, that day I didn't have anything in the waterline, but today I'm going to use this particular pearly blue shade from About Face. I just feel like it'll go so perfectly with the look. And I really like the Bobbi Brown Gel Pot, like the liner, the pot itself. I got both of these during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and this ended up becoming, very quickly becoming my favorite pencil, like brush to do this kind of liner with. Okay, I'm gonna curl my lashes. So here is the finished eye look. And how I created the look from that short. Let me zoom you out so you can get the full effect now. Here's the finished eye look. I will say the nail polish that I'm wearing is what inspired me to create a purple look. And I just started pulling different palettes that I wanted to play with to put together. But I think I'm going to be getting that Melt Smoke Sessions 2 palette, because who am I to try to resist a purple eyeshadow palette? I can't wait to check that one out. Anyways, yeah, so here's my look for the day. Thank you so much to you who requested this tutorial. I really enjoyed recreating this look. And so thank you so much for requesting it. It really did make me so happy to get that comment. And yeah, so there's the look. And I look forward to reading your comments down below. Make sure you leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you tried to recreate this. Let me know if you're using the same palettes or what palettes you pulled in order to recreate the look from your own stash. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much and puts a smile on my face. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! We're using this shade and that shade, this shade and that shade, this shade from the Natasha Denona Gold palette, this shade and that shade, and that one.